Welcome back to the sleepover here at Beauty and the Burj. And today I have with me an extraordinary woman, a biracial woman who's half Emirati, half Filipina. Her name is Jamila Al-Harthi. She is an air traffic controller, an instructor, and a safety officer in her unit, basically thriving in a male-dominated field. And apart from that, she is also a content creator, a wife, a mother who is raising a multicultural son right here in the UAE. So I want to talk to her about identity, culture, and everything in between. Welcome, Jamila.
Hi, Shereen. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm so happy to
Thank
have you
you.
here. We've been waiting for this. Guys, I found her on TikTok when you first went viral with your videos with your husband.
Yes.
And I was like, oh my God, she's so Jamila. And her name happens to be Jamila.
Thank you so much.
How has that been like for you since then? Like, what was the year that you went viral? Do you remember?
Yes, it was. We got married at the end of 2021, but I posted that video like 2022,
Okay.
beginning of 2022.
Is there a reason you were like, let me like wait it out? or
Yeah, I
something?
was contemplating because I knew it would backfire. Like, I was already expecting
Shoo.
what people are going to feel about it. So I just waited a little bit. And I was also thinking, okay, should I do it? Should I not? Because, you know, in social media, you kind of think about like, my coworkers will see this. My family are going to see this, blah, blah, blah. My husband was just like, just post it. Like, it's whatever. And so I did. And I knew it would go viral, but not to that extent.
It went so viral.
Yeah, not to that extent. So,
I remember binging all your videos after that and even led me to YouTube,
Yes.
I think, at some point.
Yeah.
But before we get into all that, I almost
Yes.
forgot to ask. My first question to my guests is always, how would you introduce or describe yourself, Jamila?
well, I would say I'm Jamila. It's always weird to say I'm Jamila because it's like saying I'm pretty.
It reminds me
It's
of
like,
the Kim
I'm
Kardashian meme
Jamila.
as well.
Right? I always say that too. But I would say I'm Jamila. I'm a mom. I think it's always important to say that because being a mom is literally forever.
Yeah.
Like no matter what happens, right? That's something that's always part of me. I'm a student of life. I love learning different things. I feel like I'm a jack of all trades. I know a little bit of something about everything, I would say. And I'm just passionate about growth. I'm also really passionate about women and children, which is a lot of people don't know. Like, I love anything that I could do to help women or children as well. So I'm passionate about that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So that gives us a little bit of a background on you. But to those who don't know, Jamila is also a quarter Tanzanian,
Yes.
quarter Emirati, and 50% Filipina.
Yes.
How was that like for you in your household growing up with all of that culture?
Yeah. I think growing up, I think my dad really made it easy because, you know, in an Arab household, it's like your dad is the one that has the control in the house, right? But for us, he made it really easy. He never pressured me, his only girl, to be anything or do anything. So I wasn't like pressured to just be one thing and not the other. I was exposed to everything. I was exposed to my Filipino side, my grandmother's side, who is Tanzanian, and my Emirati side. I was exposed to all of it, and so it was a great thing growing up and seeing the effect of it now as an adult. The way I communicate with people
Right.
and the way I understand people is just on a different level because I did grow up like around different cultures, right?
You are the definition of like the melting pot, I feel
Right?
like.
Yeah.
Are there ever moments where you find yourself confused? Like have you ever spoken to someone, مثلا, and you're like thinking in Arabic and then you say something in Tagalog? That happens to me a lot. I feel like,
Yeah, no, not really. That's an
Really?
interesting question. No, not really. I got asked once by my dad's friend who was American because he saw me talking to my mom,
Yeah.
talking to my dad, and then talking to him.
You're
so
just,
he
like,
was like,
switching.
"How do you do that?" I said, "Do what?" He was like, "How do you switch languages like that?" I said, "I don't know." And then he said, "Do you dream? What in what language do you dream in?" I said,
oh
in,
wow.
Yeah, I said in English. He said, really? I said, yeah. Sometimes in English, sometimes in Arabic, but mostly in English. He said, that's really interesting. But no, I never have that. I never,
You never accidentally spoke to
yeah,
somebody in a
no. I
different.
think my conscious is always in English,
Nice.
but it just comes out like whoever I'm talking to, Arabic, English, Tagalog, whatever it is.
Was that the first language you would say that you learned, like in school?
Tagalog is my first language.
Really? How is that?
I'm extremely fluent in Tagalog more than English and
Oh my
Arabic.
God,
Can
how
you
I wish we could
imagine?
switch to Tagalog right now.
Because of my mom. My mom. You know, my dad had to work all the time,
Right.
so I was always with my mom. We had also had TFC back then.
We love TFC.
Right?
We love her.
I was in Philippines for like 3 months every year in summer.
Mm.
So, and my mom still had a lot of Filipino friends here too. So I was always around the Filipino culture.
Amazing.
Yeah, so I was, like, my first language I would say is Tagalog.
And then in school, you would obviously then have to speak in English, would it be? Or did you go to a primarily Arabic speaking school?
Shockingly, my dad took me to an Arabic Islamic school.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, from grade 1 till grade 6. Because
Wallah,
I
good.
understood Arabic. I just didn't speak to him in Arabic because I knew he spoke in English.
Okay.
So I didn't feel pressure to like speak to him in Arabic. So he was like, you are going to learn. So he took
He's
me.
smart.
Yeah, so he took me. It was beneficial for
Yeah.
sure. Like, you know, I needed that for sure. So yeah, that's what happened.
Honestly, that's such a good decision that he
Yeah.
made. And if I had like children now that I was raising with diverse backgrounds,
Yeah.
I would want for them to know all the languages, because I
Yeah.
feel like that's where I fall short sometimes, is when I'd be around my dad's family. And I understand them because I've learned it on my own now.
Yeah.
But yani, there were moments growing up where I'd feel very
Left out.
excluded.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and in
Yeah.
my dad's family back, they would speak a little bit of Farsi as well. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, I'm
Yeah.
so jelly.
Yeah.
So that's actually great, and I think it's great that he, I don't want to say enforced, but and he pushed for that
Yeah.
education for you so that you have both, because you're here in
Yes.
Dubai, and that comes in handy here,
Yes, for sure.
right? So on that note, like, you say your dad raised you in a very much like very open-minded
Yeah.
environment, which is not the norm for really
Yeah.
most Arab families.
Yeah.
How was that received by maybe the people around you that were like full Emiratis, مثلا?
Yeah. A lot of people definitely don't understand me and the way I grew up, which is normal, which was expected.
Right.
But people's confusion don't really confuse me, because you know, I spoke to a lot of mixed people as well, and they get like identity crisis and stuff like that, which I didn't really experience because I understood at a young age what I was. I knew my dad was an Emirati and I knew my mom is Filipina, and it was that. It was just that. It was so simple. But for other people, it just seemed confusing to them what I am. And so I look at them crazy that they're confused. You know what I mean? But
You're
for
like,
me,
it's really not that serious,
yeah,
babe.
it's nothing hard. You know, I am what I am, and that's it.
True.
What was your question again? Sorry.
Basically, how was it received by the people around you,
Yeah.
seeing, you know, you being raised by such an open-minded Emirati
Yeah.
man and, you know, a Filipino mother? Like, did you receive judgments from people
Yeah.
around you? I know I did, around
Yeah.
like Arabs. Like, they were always faulting my mother, مثلا,
Yes.
that like, oh, we don't like how
That's
she could be raising you.
interesting.
Yeah.
For me, it was more on social media. Never in my life was it face to face, but on social media, it's more of like my dad, blaming my dad, and they were like, "Oh, this is what happened when Emirati men marry outside, or when, you know, Emirati men this and that, blah blah blah." But I'm like, it's just weird because, you know, people on social media, you post one picture or a 10-second video, it doesn't define who you are.
Correct.
And so it doesn't really matter to me, because it's like, these people don't know how I grew up, or they don't really know my dad and things like that. But it's definitely not accepted, especially if you're not, you know, in abaya and shela, like their normal Emirati woman, how they're
Right.
supposed to look like. So when you're a little bit free and, you know, you can do what you want, and especially wear what you want, it's like, hold on, what's going on? This is not how it's supposed to be. This is wrong. But I just always say, you know, we're like 2 million Emiratis right now, and everybody's not supposed to be the same. Like, I always tell that to people. Everybody's not supposed to be the same. We all grew up differently, different circumstances and stuff like that. But
Correct.
people still can't, grasp that idea basically of being different than
And you
them.
think they would, because now I think compared to when we were growing up, the number has surged of biracial children.
Yeah.
I'm assuming I see a lot of half Emiratis on TikTok, half Indian, have
Yes.
so many other halves, and I'm like, they're still all going through the exact same thing that we were going through, as in
Yeah.
like still not being perceived as a full Emirati or a
Yes.
full Bahraini or a full Khaliji of sorts, which is at the moment insane, because it's
Yeah.
like, come on, there's
Yeah.
so many mixed race people now, and not just in this part of the world but all around the world. That
Yes.
is the future, that is already the present.
Yes.
So I think it's high time that like people come to an acceptance of that. Like, why does it bother you? This is always kind of the question that I have in mind. It's like it irks you so much. Do you
Yes.
know why? Why is there such a exclusivity thing that Khalijis want to have and keep to themselves, this pure bloodedness? Like,
I think that, well, as you said, there's no such thing as being pure, right? But I think because a lot of other countries are looked down upon, especially depending on your mix. Like for us, we're half Filipinos,
Yeah.
right? So, a lot of people look down on Filipinos
Yeah.
and things like that. So it's like, I did actually, I never told this to anyone but my husband. I did like a social experiment on social media because I do see people that are half Emirati and let's say half Russian. And the response to them is different. And then when I post my picture and I say I'm half Emirati, half Filipino, the response to me is different.
tea,
Right?
by the way.
So I did an experiment on that, and I told my husband what I did and stuff like that. And I said, it's just really interesting how people view you depending on your mix. It's also interesting what they will accept. What type of mix do you have? They'll accept if you're
It's
a
true.
white type of mix or an
Yeah.
Asian type of mix, whatever Asian that is. So it's just different, I think, because it's just certain ethnicities are just looked down upon.
Yeah.
And a lot of Arabs or Khalijis feel like superior to everyone. So it's like, don't include us, with other type of races. Like, if you look like you're half, then you're half. You're not.
You're not
one
us.
of us. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
not one of us. Don't say that you're one of us.
So true.
Yeah, so.
Like, I represented like my country on a global
Yes.
stage.
Yes.
Got like the first award. Alhamdulillah, love that for us. But the sentiment that I would still get from some, though I don't focus on that, I
Yeah.
focus on the people that that
Support.
can appreciate
Yeah.
what I have tried to
Yeah.
do. But some of them are just like, what the heck? She's not even Bahraini. She's not even this, and I'm like,
Would I
okay,
be here if I
babes.
wasn't?
Okay,
Yeah.
babes. Yeah. And it's interesting point that you say, because I do now that I think about it, I do notice the مثلا half white mixes, and oh yeah, that is quite a different response.
Yes.
I never noticed that
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, oops, not my anger
Ooh,
showing in the
diba?
body, but yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's definitely an never-ending discussion,
Yes.
right? With
Yeah.
this, I don't know what I see for the future when it comes to this, but I have a few more questions about you on that later, because you're obviously raising a multiracial
Yes.
child in the UAE, so that must come with a lot of
Yeah.
contemplation and planning,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so going back on the marriage and you going viral and me finding you online,
Yes.
you went viral for being a half Emirati woman married to an American man. This sparked conversations, particularly under your comment section, and I've read some of them, and
Yeah.
oh,
Oof.
so what was that experience like for you when it started blowing up? What were the mixed comments that you got? What were the things that had you shook? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. The comments were expected. So I don't think anything really shocked me. What shocked me is the opposite, like the good thing that came from it. But it was a lot of bad things, of course. Like it was a lot of like, and just to rephrase and be clear as well, my husband is African American, so he is black. So a lot of people would say that he looks more Emirati than you, which is
Nah.
weird, right? Which is weird because my dad is also a black Emirati. So it's just people's view on like who they accept and who they don't.
Right.
Saying that no, you're actually Indian. Like stop saying that you're this and that, which I don't take offense in,
Yeah,
by
it's
the
like
way.
"إيش دخل?" Where did that come from?
Yeah,
Why
like
would you make that up?
yeah, so a lot of people would also defend me that, she is blah, 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 which never bothered me. The good thing that came out of it is that a lot of Emirati girls actually DM'd me after
Aw.
that, asking for clarifications about the process. If it's true that they
Wow.
take your passport, if you marry, someone, what is the process? Do they take my rights? Do they this? Do they that? And I had to reassure them that, marrying someone that's not Emirati is not illegal, right? It's just not preferred. So they make the rules a little bit different for us. You can still marry them. I always tell them you can still marry them. Here is the process, blah, blah, blah. You keep everything as it is, and here is the process.
Right.
The one thing that I don't answer women in is how do I convince my dad? So
Because it's not your place.
Yeah, it's not my place. And their relationship with their fathers is different with mine.
Correct.
I'm extremely close with mine, and I don't mind, speaking up and fighting for what I want.
Right.
And so I never tell them how to approach their dads. It's just like, okay, pray for it and just be honest with him and open up to him. And if he agrees, he agrees. It's meant for you guys. If not, then you just wait and, you continue pushing through.
I love
Yeah.
that something like that you just shared about your personal life, which is rarely seen online. I know that was
Yeah.
the first I'd heard it being so public that like an Emirati woman is with a non-Emirati
Yeah.
guy, ended up being a source of comfort for maybe like the Emirati
Yes.
women that were low-key already thinking
Yeah.
about this but didn't really know how to approach or didn't even think it possible.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good that in essence you helped give them some sort of comfort, right?
Yeah,
By
so
just sharing
that
your
was
truth.
really big for me because
Yeah.
a lot of women really talked to me, and I was shocked that a lot of them are actually very diverse. Like a lot of them want to get married to a French guy, a Jamaican guy, a Canadian guy, like Dominican Republic. I'm like, how do you guys meet these guys? Like, what do you mean?
Where are you finding
like, where do
them?
you finding these men? But I said that's really great, and a lot of them, like 2-3 of them, probably got married now
Okay.
to their men. So I'm like, yeah, it's possible. It's
Right.
not, it's not like, yeah.
What do you say though to the people that might think, by people I mean maybe, the certain type of individuals that might think like, oh, that you're promoting this sort of thing. I'm pretty sure you got
Yes.
some comments like
Yeah,
that too.
I did.
What do
I
you say
did.
about that?
I did get that one comment, which is talking like you're promoting, this to women. I'm like, marriage is something that's written for you. So I'm not promoting for you to get married to an American. If you're not meant to be with an American, you're not.
Correct.
It's just that simple. And I'm like, I'm just posting about my relationship and my life. And I'm like, I'm in no place to tell anybody at all what to do and how, to do things. And this is better than that. Like, no, never. That's not my intentions with my social media. Yeah.
Love it. What assumptions do you think people make about Emirati women that aren't true?
I think the most simplest one, because I see it a lot, that they think Emirati women are like extremely bougie, extremely expensive, which is true, by the way. Every Khaliji woman is like that, I feel like. It's true. But as much as there's truth to that, it's also a lot of us that want just a simple life.
Right.
To be married, to have kids, simple wedding, simple this and that. It's a lot of them. It's just that those type of women don't really go out there and talk about it. Like
Right.
they actually do live it, It's those women that yap a lot about those kind of lifestyle that are out there. But it's still a lot of Emirati women that just want a simple, fun life.
Yeah.
Like not in a spotlight, not luxury, not like, what they portray on social media Emirati women are.
Like a more grounded, private lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going to what you said, there is that stereotype of Khaliji women of like being somewhat maybe uppity or
Yes.
like just bougie. But I think what that is just taste, darling.
It is.
It's taste.
It is taste.
If we have money or we don't, there's just taste.
Yes.
I think I don't know about you, maybe you also can relate to this, because growing up, right, we were in so many all girls parties, صح, the haflas,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's when we would show up and show
Yes,
out.
yes.
So I never even understood the concept of, oh, you're wearing this for men, because I'm
men,
like,
yeah.
dear, we were
Yeah,
wearing
we
this
don't.
to have convos with each other. We were rating outfits.
Yeah, that's a Western thing. For us, it's just like when we go to weddings, everybody's in a gown. But it's like if you do that in the West, it's like, oh my gosh, she's like
Yeah.
upping the bride. And
We were red carpeting before
Yes,
all this
before
social
red
media
carpet.
stuff.
Yeah, that's
The
true.
outfits were always a thing. The accessories, that was the points of discussion. We just love to glam up
To
or
look
feel
good.
good regardless of the
Yes.
budget. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great thing about Khaliji women. So what of all the comments that you got from that time that you went viral, what comment really stuck out to you and made you like laugh the most? Was there anything in
Like
particular?
a good one or a funny one?
Up to you. A good laugh, a bad laugh, or a laugh that you were like, ha, that's supposed to insult me, but not really.
All of the comments are supposed to insult me, but it doesn't insult me. But the things that make me laugh the most is when people argue about what I am and what I'm not.
I do see a lot of
And
that.
I just let them. I don't comment. I just let them figure
More
it out
engagement,
by
dear.
themselves and find your conclusion of it, and
صح.
then make out what you want of it.
I do remember seeing like there were theories. They were like, no, she's this because this, and her father might be from this and this and this. And I'm like, how do you know this?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, are you friends with her dad?
Yeah, yeah.
Whew, it's like, and it was all to come to a conclusion that like she's not Emirati.
Yes, exactly.
Basically.
Just to prove a point.
I relate, retweet to that one.
Yeah.
How has your husband been able to adapt to both your cultures, the Emirati, the Filipino side? I imagine it's somewhat interesting for him.
It is interesting because food-wise, he adapted well to
Ooh.
both the Emirati and Filipino side.
Okay.
But culture-wise, at home, I'm very neutral. So it's not like I'm so Emirati and I'm so Filipino. I'm just very neutral. So he doesn't get to experience that. That's why I told him when we go to Philippines, you need to come.
He
'cause
love it.
Philippines, I'm a completely different human being. It's a completely different lifestyle, and you need to come with me to experience that. And then my Emirati side, he has gotten... He has learned his kandoras now.
Okay.
The
Okay, slay.
colors, the
exact
fabrics, the length, the type, Saudi,
Love it.
Kuwaiti, Bahraini, Emirati. So he got it down now. So
Respect.
he's adapting well. He's adapting well.
And
to it.
food-wise, what has he enjoyed so far from the Emirati and the Filipino side?
Emirati, of course, he loved the machboos
Of
and
course.
the biryani. Although biryani is Indian, right? But we all eat the same food. It's okay. Filipino, he definitely loves pancit, but it has to be my
Oh.
mom's pancit.
Specifically,
Yes,
not a restaurant
specifically.
one.
My
Oh no,
mom's
he's not into
pancit,
it.
Lumpia
Oof.
and adobo, of course.
Who can hate on
But
adobo?
lumpia is his favorite. So is my son. His favorite is lumpia.
Lumpia is so good. With what?
Yeah.
With the chicken inside?
Ground beef and vegetable.
I love
Yeah.
it. Where would you take him? Like once you go to the Philippines, what are the places you have in mind?
I would definitely take him to where I grew up, my tita's house in
Okay.
the province, which is
Okay.
Balanga Bataan. It's very provincey vibe. There's nothing fancy.
Nice.
So I'll take him there, and then I would love for him to see Palawan, of course.
As you should, Queen.
A little bit of Manila, because Manila is crazy. I
Yeah.
never lived there, but I would love for him to see Manila.
A bit of
as well.
BGC, a bit of Makati.
Yeah.
Why not?
The fancy areas.
The fancy areas.
Yeah, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
a little bit of that old school place. I don't know. I forgot the name.
Intramuros, yes.
Right?
Yes,
I've
yes,
never
yes.
been. I would also
Yeah,
want to go there.
yeah.
Palawan, yes, take him to El
Yes,
Nido. He'll love it. My mom is there. I can get you guys a little like farm visit as well. It's so cute. I
that
love
part.
it there.
I love that, yes.
No, but I think that's so cool. You mentioned something about like he hasn't seen that side of you. And I watched from a previous podcast of yours that you said, depending on the language you speak or like who you're around, it's like you're a whole different personality. And this is something I so resonate with.
Yeah.
I don't think half my friends know who the real me is because in the Philippines, I am not me right now. Would you say that? You feel like, oh my gosh, who is she? Like split personality.
We talk about this a lot because he's trying to learn Arabic.
Okay, good.
So I told him, you have no idea how hilarious I am in Arabic. Like the way I
Really?
cuss in Arabic, the way I joke in Arabic. I said, you have no idea.
Missing
and
out.
translating it to English just doesn't make sense. You know
No.
how it is in Arabic, right? And yeah, so I also told him, like, whenever in Arabic, like in general, Whenever you speak in Arabic, if you're hurt, you can really translate that hurt to someone. You wouldn't just say, I'm hurt.
It's true.
In
It's
Arabic,
true.
it's like you're describing somebody that just stabbed you.
Yeah.
That's how much pain you feel, right?
It's poetic.
Yeah, and I do feel like in Tagalog is just also different. Like it's a different personality. You switch your personality depending on the language that you're speaking. It's just something weird. I don't know how to
I
explain
know.
it.
Tagalog,
Yeah.
I feel like I become more sarcastic and naturally more flamboyant.
Yes.
Like I just can't be serious when I
Yeah.
speak Tagalog. I'm
Yes.
always cracking a joke, even when I don't mean to, and people are laughing, and I'm like, I swear I didn't even mean it as a joke.
Yeah.
It's so cool though.
Yeah.
I
And
like
the voice
having
changes too.
that. Oh, babe.
Yeah, the voice changes
La,
too.
la, my Arabic voice, she's very demure. Is yours
Yes.
also
And
like
it's very Arab too. It's very like you're very
Sah.
like Arab.
like a
Yeah.
modest young gal
Yeah.
from the, from the midst of the valleys of the royal kingdom. Like I become
Yes.
very soft when I speak
Yes.
Arabic. People
Yeah.
are like, who is she?
Yeah.
I love that for us.
Yeah.
So, being mixed, raising now a mixed race son. You grew up between these two cultures. I want to say three even, and now your son is growing up between four.
4.
What is that?
How?
What does that look like
What do
for
you
him?
do?
Like, are you teaching him some of the languages already? Like, is it important for you that he learns to speak English, Tagalog, Arabic, and a
Yeah.
bit of Tanzanian? Do you speak a little bit of?
I don't speak Swahili.
You don't
no,
speak Swahili?
No. My dad does a little bit, but
So
I don't. I
cool.
didn't get to learn. But for my son, it was easy.
Yeah.
I had to be. Well, we had to be realistic with him, based off of what he really needs. So
Okay.
he really needs English and he really needs Arabic.
Sah.
Because he is Muslim. He's a Muslim, right? My
Mashallah.
husband is Muslim. And raising him, a lot of people don't know this because I never really talked about it, but with close friends, they do understand that when raising a mixed kid, specifically for us and for him, me and my husband agreed that, like I mentioned to him, it's important that he knows who he is at home. So we explained to him what I am, and you explain to him what you are, and that's him. He's the outcome of that. And later on, when he grows up, it's up to him to define himself however he wants to. So the whole time I was growing up, I always defined myself as half Emirati, half Filipina.
Yeah.
Half Emirati, half Filipina. Like, I don't leave that out. Never. Even in like job interviews and stuff like that, I do mention.
You highlight it,
I
yes.
mention I'm half Emirati. And I say it's up to him to decide what he wants to define himself. Although his nationality is American,
Right.
it's up to him to say what he is. And for us, it's important that we emphasize to him that he's Muslim first before he's anything else.
I love that.
Yeah, so that is something that my husband also lives by. And I think that's important for him as well when he converted, to not lose himself just because he converted to Islam, right? And I feel like when you instill confidence in a kid, like my parents did to me as a young child, then the noise outside just don't matter to you. Like,
It's
you kind of
true.
look at them weird, like, what are you talking about?
Because
So,
people will try to label him. They
Yeah.
will put him in so many boxes, right?
Yes.
It will start so young even.
Yeah.
So it is good that you guys are instilling that in him from when he's at
Yes.
home, so that he knows. He'd be like, no, this is actually what I am,
Yeah.
not what you think I am.
And he looks ambiguous. Like, he doesn't look black. He doesn't look Filipino.
It's
he
so
doesn't,
true.
He just looks ambiguous. Like, you never know where he's from. And I know
Yeah.
that face is like, till he grows up to be a teenager, he's just gonna look like that. Like, I can't really point where you're from, but
And then he
Yeah.
could just be like,
can be
exactly.
whatever he wants
I'm
to
from
be.
everywhere, dear.
Yeah.
There's no need to try to figure me
Yeah.
out. So what do you see for yourself in terms of like in the future with your son? Do you see him maybe settling in the UAE still, or do you think that you'd want him to also explore the Philippines like you did, which I also want to touch up on in a bit?
yeah. I'm taking him to Philippines in May.
Love it. First
Yes.
time?
Yes, his
Oh,
first time.
cute.
So he'll be 3 when I take him. I want him to be not only exposed to his mixes, but to the whole world. Like, we want him to travel the world as a kid his first trip at 1 years old is Portugal, babe. Like,
Social. I'm
social,
gonna translate
social
this to you
lolo.
guys. Social.
So we want him to see the world and not just be fascinated or fixated with just Dubai. Because I
Right.
grew up in Dubai, I was born in that. I don't want that for him. Just like how I grew up, I want him to be the same, to like be exposed to so many things. But also, in order for him to understand where he's from, of course, he has to see Philippines. So he
Correct.
knows his lolas from there. This is our food. This is where we grew up. This is how we, this and that. Of course, he has to go to Virginia, where my husband is from in the States.
Nice.
He has to see how his dad grew up. Where did he live? Which school did he go to? How did he get to school? And, what was the weather like? Like the feeling, the smell, all of that. He needs to feel that
Yes.
to resonate with who he is as a person. I feel like it's two things. When you never seen the country where you're from and you don't speak the country where you're from, that's when you struggle the most with your identity, because you can't connect with what you are, basically.
Because even if he doesn't end up learning مثلا Tagalog in the future, to have been there, to have experienced it, like you said, and to be familiar with the taste of the food and how the people are, I don't know, it just adds so much more to one's character, right? Because I feel still very Bahraini, even though I don't speak Arabic fluently, and that's because I got the opportunity to
grow up there.
To be around my dad's family, around my friends. I know a bit of the humor,
That shapes you too.
It
as a
shapes you
person.
too.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for him, inshallah, when he gets to, because I feel like there's so much to explore.
Yes.
Like already Portugal being your first country, and then you're in the UAE, which already you have the 7 Emirates to explore.
Yes. Yeah.
And then if he wanted, here's a little bit of your Tanzanian side, like a fraction of it, but how cool Tanzania is as well, right?
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah, I'm really excited for him too.
I love
was
that for
exciting
you
me.
and for him and the family, actually, because I feel like it's fun as well, right?
Yes.
You get to see what he picks up on, and
Yeah.
mashallah. Okay, so what do you think is the biggest advantage of being a multicultural child in today's world in terms of your son?
I think that that's an interesting question.
What are the advantages? I think a lot of, especially in the UAE, Tara, there are a lot of jobs, مثلا, where they require you to speak more than one
different
languages. So that would
Yeah.
come in handy for him.
Yeah, I never thought of that one, but
No visa issues.
that
Mashallah, love this.
practical things, right? No, I think for him, just like as a human being, I think he's, I don't know, feeling like he's just full of life, I would hope.
Yeah.
That he has a lot of different cultures and his family is from a little bit of everywhere. And I hope he's proud of that when he grows up, that my grandmother on, this side was Tanzanian, then my other grandmother is Filipina. My dad is African American. My mom is this. Like, that is just like a personality trait, I guess, that
My God,
he
he'll
would
have
right?
stories.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's another advantage. So
Yeah.
it has plenty of advantages. Because like I said, I think it's the present. It's not even the future anymore, right? So you're an air traffic controller, instructor, safety officer. 3 huge responsibilities.
Yes.
What made you choose aviation and specifically air traffic control?
I always tell people I didn't really choose aviation. Aviation chose me.
Oh, wow, T.
Diva.
I love that.
No, it's a long story. I'll make it short.
Okay.
I always wanted to be a crime scene investigator because of the CSI show.
Oh, wow.
But in order for me to be that, I needed to join the police academy. And I'm just a girl. I don't want to, join the police and stuff like that. And so I told my dad, like, I would love to graduate high school and apply at a university in America and study this and hopefully come back and have a career with it. And he was like, you are not going to the States. Like, there is no way you are going to the States, honey. He said, figure something out. So I'm like, well, that's really my plan this whole time. So I really don't know what to do anymore.
I don't have a backup.
Yeah, I don't have a backup plan. So I went to Philippines for a vacation when I graduated.
Right.
And then I came back and I told my dad, I said, you know what, Dad, I think I just want to work. I don't want to study. Because I knew that as an Emirati, I have like options, right? So I said, I just want a job. Honestly, I don't have anything in mind. I can work any job. It's fine. I, at one point, wanted to join the army because I did not have any plan after graduating high school. Like, that was the only thing that I really wanted to do. So I said, while I think of what I want to do with my life, I had a crisis. I was like, let me just join the army. It's only like 6 months for women back then. I was like, it's only 6 months and then they pay you if you don't have a job. So 6 months you get paid and, you know, you do whatever. Blah,
Doesn't
blah.
sound too shabby.
Yeah, so I said, let me just do it. But then my dad came home one day with a brochure of the academy, the aviation academy I went to. And I thought he was asking me, do you want to do this? Do you want to, you know, this and that? He was like, I applied
Are
you
you
here.
interested?
He said, I applied you here.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah,
he
he
really
said-
said, I'm not even giving you an option
Yes,
here.
he said, I signed you up on this university. So next week, not university, college. So he was
Yeah.
like, you know, next week, you know, blah, 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 you should go. I said, okay, like, it's whatever.
I love that you just go with the flow.
Yeah, like, I didn't really have a choice. I was like, you know, it's whatever. And I was only 18. Like, I had my, you know, I didn't really...
Time was not of the essence. Like, time was
Yeah.
very much not of the essence.
Yeah, it
yet.
didn't exist back
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
So I was like, yeah, it's whatever. So I went. And I didn't know it was a mixed college because I knew that universities in Al Ain, I'm from Al Ain, so I grew up there. I know that universities and colleges in Al Ain are never mixed, but that one
Right.
was mixed. So I walked in and it was mixed, like boys and girls, same classes and all of that. And so 3 months in, after 3 semesters, my company that I currently work for and 2 other companies would come and they would recruit students to sign a contract with them. So one is, well, 2 of them is an aviation engineer. One is from, can I say brands and stuff like that?
If you want, but we can cut it out. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not preferred, to be fair.
Yeah, so one is like an airline. The other one is more military one.
Okay.
And then there is my company.
Okay.
And my company are controllers and aircraft maintenance.
Okay.
So they're looking for controllers. So I said, I don't know what this is, but let me apply for it. It sounds cool to me. I don't know. So I applied. I got, you know, I did the exam. I did the interview. And they were like, yeah, okay, you're in.
How many girls were you in
2.
the class? 2 girls?
2 girls.
How many men?
Like 3 guys.
Oh, there's not that many.
It's
huh?
not that
But
many. It's
still,
more, it's more on the like aircraft maintenance and engineers.
Right.
But this one, really, nobody knew like what an ATC is. Like, what is that? So I was like, okay, I know, like, that's the one in the tower talking or whatever. I said, let me just do this, right? It sounded cool. So I just did it. And so in order to work with them, you sign a contract with them that after you graduate, you work for us and with us. But as you study, you get paid.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so everybody was studying there and they were getting paid by these companies to study.
Why?
And then
Why couldn't somebody hand me the application
Right?
form? That sounds so
And
cool.
then the job was guaranteed after that. When you graduate, you'll work for us.
I don't know about you, but that would have made studying so much more motivating. Like, I was not motivated to study journalism to that extent. Not getting paid to
You
study?
would think that, but I quit actually.
Oh. Why is
right?
that?
The gag is I quit. So
Why?
during my OJTI, which is like my training phase, to be
Right.
a controller, you need to be an assistant first.
Okay.
So I was training to be an assistant first, and I was like, I think I want to leave Al Ain and I just want to work here. I said, I don't need to continue my studies because what I really wanted was to work.
Right.
Like, I just wanted my own money.
She
right?
wanted her bag.
Yeah. So I said, I can do this. So I talked to my manager, and my manager was really shocked because I would have been the first controller I work in Air Force as well. So first one in the Air Force would have been an Emirati controller.
Wow.
And they wanted me to be a controller because I spoke really good English. It's not like a broken English,
Right.
you know? So they were like, no, we don't want you to be an assistant. We need you to be a controller. And I said, I don't want to. I just want to be an assistant.
The opportunities really kept coming. Mashallah.
Yeah, so in order for me to quit, he needed to sign a paper that says, okay, she'll quit, but she'll work for you, like with you as an assistant. So he was like, I'll sign this paper, but let me tell you from now, you'll never be a controller. Like, I'll never take you to the course ever again. I said, it's fine with me. He said, okay. So he signed it. I was a controller for 2 years.
Okay.
And then before he left, because he went to another job, he said, I'm not leaving here until I take you to the course to be a controller. He said, I think that you deserve to be a controller. You don't just, you're not meant to be just
What
an
a king.
assistant. He's amazing. He
Understanding
was
your
amazing. Yeah, so I
strengths.
think without him pushing me and encouraging me, I wouldn't really be a controller. Like, he pushed that on me. And he was like, why are you just aiming to be an assistant? Like, you can be more. So
I love
yeah.
it.
So both of them, him and my dad.
So the blessings really just kept coming in, mashallah. Like, this
Yeah.
really did find you.
Yes.
Like you said, it
Like I
chose
said,
you.
Literally,
It
because I
chose
never
you.
really had an idea what it is. I never chose it, never wanted it.
So, dumb it down for me. What
Yes.
does an air traffic controller do? Like, what does your day-to-day look like?
Okay, so since I work with helicopters, not really aircrafts, as in
Ooh.
like an Emirates type of thing. I mean, big
An
airplanes
airline.
type of thing. I work with military helicopters. So it's just us basically giving them a service of telling them where to go, where to turn, who's in front of them, who's behind them, and then make sure that they land safely and they depart safely as well. Just making sure that nobody is in their surrounding area. And if there is, then we would organize them to like follow each other or like have a
Or
sight
wait a
of
bit.
each other. Yeah.
Oh my God. So you are the reason we all basically, well, not we all,
Yeah.
but, if you were in the airline sector,
International, yeah.
you would be the reason that we all land safely,
Yes.
basically, and depart safely.
Yes. Yeah, so that's the job, yeah.
Oh my gosh. What are the challenges that come with that?
Oh my God, it's a lot.
Because I feel like you have to be prompt on time and very
It's a
like looking
lot.
out for everything.
Yes,
Then
it's-
so many flights come in and out, I imagine.
Yes, it's very stressful, especially with helicopters because they're faster than normal airplanes.
Right.
And they can just stop mid-air as well, so it's not like a regular airplane. But it's a lot. It gets very chaotic extremely quickly. But I also a trainer, so I always tell my students that it only gets chaotic because you don't know how to work. Because you don't know how to manage your traffic if it gets chaotic. But if everything is organized, then you see the traffic flowing smoothly. Yeah.
But is there ever situations that will shock you that like, okay, you could be organized and prepped, but like,
Yeah.
are there ever like out of the
Oh,
blue
yeah, for
moments that you're like,
sure.
oh my God?
For sure.
And you have to act fast?
Sometimes you're busy with something, talking to multiple helicopters, not just one, not just two,
Wow.
not three, but you're talking to like 5, 10, 15 at a time, right?
Wow.
And then somebody will suddenly pop up out of nowhere, coming. So if they're coming, then they need to land. So you need to make space for them on the runway. So that's kind of like, those are the things that happen often. But now being there for 10 years, I kind of like managed it, kind of worked things out. And
It's like something that's like a second nature to you now, I feel like, right?
you just don't freak out anymore.
Would you continue this line of work even in the future, you think? Does it still spark joy?
It does, but it's harder now with a kid. It's harder to work shifts with a kid because you don't rest as much as you used to. So morning shifts is exhausting. Like I get tired by 7:30 a.m.
How early is early when you do morning shifts?
It starts at 7 till 2,
Okay.
but I live here in Dubai and I work in Abu Dhabi. So I need to wake up extra early, right? But the shift work is just not the same. If I was single, I would continue and I would go to an international airport for sure, like
Right.
Dubai or Abu Dhabi. But for now, it's just like I'm kind of like slowing down a
Trying to
little
find
bit.
the balance,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because you do have a 3-year-old,
Yeah.
like a almost 3-year-old now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I also want to ask you, I have so many questions, but I want to ask you, I think this is a male-dominated field from what I can
Yes.
only assume.
Yeah.
So what is that like being maybe one of the only few women in this field?
Yeah, so for us, it is because we are in a military base.
Right.
So we're only 3 women and we're 4 women, and 3 of those women are Emirati, me included.
Okay.
Right? It's not easy, especially when you see that the men are being the priority when it comes to this to this.
Because it's in any field, right? Let's be honest. So
yeah, for sure.
it's not like it's
For
specific
sure.
to any
Yeah,
industry.
yeah.
But especially in a male-dominated one, I
Yes.
imagine sometimes you might not be taken as seriously as maybe the men.
Yes. I had this one meeting one time. I wasn't anything. I was just a controller that time. But they needed to have a representative for the tower to go to the pilot meeting.
Okay.
So it was this huge room, way bigger than this, with all the pilots in there.
Okay.
Pilots, captains, the crews, everyone. And they're all men. I walk in and I'm the only woman wearing an abaya and shela at work. And I sit down and all the men are screaming at each other. So apparently that's how they communicate in the army. So everybody's screaming at each other. And then I was just sitting there waiting for my turn to speak because my boss was like, nobody's here today, so you got to go and represent the tower or whatever. And then this captain looked at me and was like, what about you? Where are you from? What do you want to say? I was like, I'm Jamila. I'm from the tower. And then my question is, so and so and so. But it's difficult for sure. But for me, it's just that nothing is fair. And for me, it's like what's right, what's wrong is wrong. And from what I can see, it's like let's prioritize the men because they are the ones that can go to meetings. They are the ones that can go to missions. They are the ones that can face, this general and that guy and this guy and have conversations with them and travel freely and do this and do that. So for me, it's like it's very, very limited. And I always feel like I have a lot to offer. And it's just like pulling me down a little bit where I'm just stuck in like one place, right?
But I guess there's still a point in asking this. Yeah. Have you ever felt underestimated in the workplace
Always.
Because you're a woman?
Yes, always. Especially when a new student comes and I have to train them. The way they approach me is different than how they approach the expat that works with me, the woman expat that works with me. And then when I get to teach them and I get to share with them my experience and they get comfortable, people always tell on themselves. So they end up saying, oh, I actually like how you teach. I actually like how you explain that. Because I know in their head they're thinking, what does she know?
What does she want to tell me? This one's going to teach me.
Yeah, she's going to boss me around and things like that. But no, I actually love teaching. Like I always tell, the students that we're not here to fail you or embarrass you or anything. We all want you to pass and we all want to help you. You just really got to help yourself.
Correct, because you were in that position once, so you know what that's like.
Yeah.
What strengths do you think women bring to this particular field?
I think that it's just different with women because our manager is a woman recently, which was never done in any military base in UAE. Okay. But she's British, so that's different. You can talk to men and you can call and stuff like that. When she took over, the way our dynamic is at work has just completely shifted, which me and her, we were working together in the shift. We were both controllers too. She also taught me how to be a controller. Okay. And it just changed because I feel like there's more empathy, there's more understanding, and there's more patience. With our previous male managers or whatever, it's just like they forget that we're civilians. We're not military people as well. So it's just like go, 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 go. And what do you mean you're sick? No, come to work. Well, I'm like, hold on.
It's task 1, task 2, task 3, task 4.
I'm not feeling well and I need to just sit at home. I'm not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with a woman, it's like there's more understanding, there's more patience, there's more empathy and sympathy, and you can talk more freely.
There's a difference in the way a message is being conveyed.
And the way, we approach things and handle things as well.
That's so true. So what advice would you then give any young girl who could be watching right now who dreams of going into aviation or ATC? Is that what it's called? ATC?
Yes, ATC.
I love that. I've learned something new today.
ATC. I don't talk about my career a lot on social media, but I think I should.
Yeah, you should. It's inspiring.
Yes. I would just say to keep pushing. Like what I said about being male dominated, this and that has nothing to do with whatever you're trying to do, no matter what career that is, not just
صح.
aviation, but just keep pushing. And all it takes is just really one person to believe in you, to give you a chance, to showcase your talent and yourself. And then once you get there, once you become whatever it is, like a pilot, an engineer, an ATC, whatever it is, don't stop learning. Aviation is such a broad thing. There's so much in it that you can continue learning. And after being a pilot, you can be something else.
Yeah.
After you become an ATC, you can also be something else. True. So there's a lot in aviation that you can do. So just don't stop learning and reading, basically. Yeah.
Keep going and
Yeah.
keep the interest alive,
Yes,
basically.
basically, yeah.
I love it. So now I want to shift towards how you went from ATC to content.
Yes.
I find it's a bit of a random shift, but maybe, I don't know, maybe from your background
Yeah.
that I've not heard yet. What brought upon this interest in content creation, or were you always interested in kind of showcasing your life on social media somehow?
Yeah. So, back then when YouTube first started, I don't know when YouTube started, but when it first started, I used to make videos on YouTube
Really?
of songs and lyrics.
Oh,
Yeah. So I was
What,
one
like-
of those people that would post like music, like the
Lyrics.
lyrics on I would edit, I would learn how to do that and,
Oh my gosh.
and do that. So I've always liked that. And outside of work, I'm just a girl. I love
She's a girly
fashion.
pops.
Right? I love fashion. I love makeup. I love all of those girly things. So I'm like, why not? I feel like I have something to offer, and especially being an Emirati girl.
Yes, queen.
That I feel like I have a lot to offer when it comes to these type of stuff. So I'm like, let me just post, because I do love shoes. I love clothes and all of that. So I'm like, let me just post it. But recently I did delete everything. So in case anybody goes to like my
Why is that?
I just feel like I grew up comparing to 2 years ago.
Okay.
It's a huge shift after I gave birth. I grew up and I've learned a lot. So the way I view things have changed. The way
You present yourself.
I present myself is also very different. And I feel like if I am going to actually really take this seriously with content creation and being an influencer, then I do want it to be more purposeful. I want it to have a purpose, and I want it to have a deeper meaning. And I do want to share more knowledgeable things. Like the fashion and lifestyle is going to be there, but I have a lot to talk about in our community that I feel like is not talked about enough.
Correct.
That I feel like it needs to have a conversation. Like we need to do that. And whenever I try to seek that type of topic, you really cannot find anyone in UAE to speak about important topics. So you just become something that you need.
Yeah,
Right, and I
you
want-
want to be the pioneer
Yeah,
in getting
so-
pushing the conversation
yes.
forward. I like that.
Yeah.
So going with the content creation, right? You said you want more purposeful content. Who are the people that you look up to that you think, oh, I'm inspired by what they're doing?
Well, a lot of fitness content creators. One of them has always been Chrissy Chella.
Okay.
She's I forgot her ethnicity, but she's from UK. I don't
Okay.
know if you know her.
No.
Yeah, so she's really big on the fitness. She owns Honor Active, if you heard of that brand as well, and she has like a lot of no, hold on. Let me say that again. I would say Chrissy Chella. She is from UK. She has the activewear line, which is Honor Active, and she also used to do YouTube. So I've watched her from the beginning up until now.
Okay.
So now she's married and she has a kid as well and stuff like that. I look up to her because she is someone that I've always kind of envisioned myself to be. It's just that back then I didn't really have the confidence to talk about topics I have no knowledge in.
Yeah.
So now is like fitness and health is something that I'm really big into. And with her, the way she grew her empire from being a YouTuber to having one of the biggest activewear lines, it's just like insane to me.
Correct me
Insane.
if I'm wrong. Is this the lady that you were talking about in your stories I think some time ago that you saw her in an elevator or something,
Oh,
or it's
no,
just
no, that's
another
not
lady?
her. No, no,
Oh,
that's
okay,
not
okay.
her.
Because I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I remember her posting something
Yeah,
about.
no, that's not her.
Well, that's great. I really can't wait to see what you do with this content. And I do think you have a story to share. And I, as somebody who has no knowledge in aviation
Yeah.
at all, I would love to really see more of like what that looks like
Aviation.
on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
I think it's so, so cool. And it will
Yeah.
inspire the younger generation of Emiratis or, mixed race
Yeah.
girls to see that they can do it
They have a
all.
future in
They have a
aviation.
future in
Yeah.
aviation and in content creation and
Yes.
in whatever they
In
set their
anything,
minds
really.
to.
Yeah.
So props to you for that,
Thank
Saraha.
you.
Because
Thank
you're
you.
not, I'm doing the one thing is like content creation and media. But
Yeah.
into you going into like completely two different fields. And I feel like
Yes.
so Barbie of you.
Right?
I
I
love
try
it.
to. I try to.
I love it. So what part of your Filipina identity makes you feel the proudest?
Ooh, this makes me emotional, you know?
Does it?
Yes, Philippines make me emotional. I don't know what it
Really?
is. Stop. Stop.
Why is that?
I feel like um it's just very different. You know, growing up here and people here not accepting you, and then now that you're adult, they kind of blame you why you're not Emirati, why you don't act like one. It's because, you know, people here try to avoid me and, you know, not accept me and things like that.
Yeah.
And I've always been the type to just go where you're wanted. I never force
Ah.
myself in places that, you know, they don't want you. And with being half Filipino, I think that being grounded and humble, because my life in Philippines, when I tell my husband, growing up is completely different. I used to tell him, you know, we have everything here. Like my dad provided everything, driver, you know, big house, this private school, all that. I told him when I go to summer in Philippines,
It's a different lifestyle.
we don't have a fridge. So my mom has to go to Palenque every single day to buy food. I said, we don't have AC, we don't have hot water, we don't have a car. We live in a small, like, one-bedroom place, and all your cousins are sleeping there on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah.
just very, very different because you have less, but you're more happy because
So fulfilled.
you don't think about the material stuff. Unlike here, it's just like it's a completely different lifestyle.
Yeah.
I mentioned this one time on my social media and people took it the wrong way. I said that being half Filipino made me humble and this and that. So they were saying, oh, so if you're Emirati, you're full Emirati, you're saying that you're gonna be like Khagaga and stuff like that. I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's just that if I continued with like the fancy lifestyle and I never got to experience that type of world
Yeah.
and that type of phase in my life, then definitely I would be like super like mean girl vibe.
It was the experience,
Yeah.
right? The experience of getting to live how the other people, yani how the
Yeah.
other half of you lives in a whole different country
Yeah.
is what yani gave you more insight into
Yes.
life and perspective.
Yeah.
And
So-
then that can happen regardless if
Yeah.
you're even full Emiratis can live that,
Yeah,
right? Because there's
yeah.
also that misconception that all Emiratis are rich, which I think there are a few cases.
We
rare.
were rich 50 years ago, and everybody knows that.
There you
like
go.
my grandmother, she wasn't rich. She used to make khubz argag for the sheikhs back then to make
Wow.
money to raise 9 kids.
Wow.
So she only got rich, you know, when UAE became UAE and kids went to universities and got jobs and stuff like that. So just like 20 years ago,
Yeah.
you know, she had a house and she had this and that. But back then, nobody was rich. Everybody came from a humble living space. But yeah, I think being half Filipino is really, really important for me.
I so
and
agree
my
with you on
being-
that. I so
yeah.
agree with you. Like a lot of things that would phase somebody else, I feel like because of the things we have seen maybe our mothers go through
Yes, that
and our
too.
families back in the Philippines, it just doesn't phase us as
Yeah,
much and you have
yeah.
a lot of appreciation for things,
Mhm,
right?
yeah.
Like I have friends that'll be like, "Oh my god, you're so spoiled, you're so this." And I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm not. Like I've lived a completely different life also growing up because I
Yeah.
was majority only raised by my mom who's a
Yeah.
single mom. So I had to go through all those challenges in the Philippines with her.
Yeah.
And so when I finally got to a point where alhamdulillah like life started picking up for me coming back here, I mean, you gotta live. You gotta live both lives. It
Yeah.
doesn't go to show that I can't still go to Palawan, be in a kubo, sit with nothing but a fan and live my
Yes.
best life. I can still enjoy both. And I think I love that I can enjoy both and
Yeah.
not be too dramatic about
Yes,
it.
like maarte, right?
Hindi maarte.
I
Like
feel
you can
like
survive whatever.
yes, struggle definitely makes a person. I feel like if
Yes.
you just grew up
A certain
a
way.
certain way, you never had to struggle for absolutely anything at all. It doesn't really create anything
Yeah.
as an adult. So yeah.
I want to ask you, what do Filipinos bring to the UAE that people don't talk about enough?
Yeah. I talked about this before. I feel like there's a lot more Filipinas than Filipinos
Mm.
in UAE.
UAE. Right.
I see a lot more women
Right.
than men. And now being a mom, I do realize how hard it is for them to leave their family, leave their kids. And Philippines is beautiful. Like every corner of Philippines is beautiful. You wouldn't want to leave your own country for the sake of going to a different one and working,
Right.
right? I think that the hard work that the Filipinas put into, whether that's retail or food or nanny or office job, whatever it is, I feel like the hard work and sacrifice that they put into their daily life, it's not is not talked about enough.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be because we all sacrifice, right? But specifically about Filipinos that is in every corner of this world providing a service to everybody but their, their own country because of the struggles that Philippines are going through. It's just that also doesn't sit right with me
Right.
a lot. But yeah, Filipinos is just yeah. So the effort and the hard work that they
The
put
determination.
into their work. Yeah.
So, what's a childhood memory from the UAE that still makes your heart full? I want to end things on like lighter note.
Oh. So I know you said lighter note, but my grandmother passed away in 2021.
Allah
My
yarhamha.
Tanzanian grandmother, Allah yarhamha. And my favorite memory is just being in her house with my cousins and just playing around and running around in the sand and the palm trees, and then eating machbous on the floor
Yum.
with my uncles and my grandmother and my mom and
The
my
smell of
dad.
bukhur.
Yes, and yeah, that's my favorite memory of here specifically
Beautiful.
as a kid.
The question that I always leave with my guests is, what is your Burj, which is the dream that you're still building?
Ooh. I have a lot because I have a lot of interest, but I would say just the Burj of building a bridge. Ooh. The Burj of building a bridge of connecting more with my community. And with my community, not specifically Khalijis, not specifically Arab women, but the women community, like all over the world. That's what I want to connect more to, that I'm trying to build. And I want to make it right. I want to make it as knowledgeable and profitable to others as much as possible. And I just want to create a safe space for women to be and speak, basically, whether that's in fitness or fashion or aviation or whatever it is, but just building a safe space for women.
That's beautiful.
All over the world, yes.
And that is exactly why you and I align with each other. Because I always try to have people on this sleepover that don't just do their daily job, but do their daily job with a purpose, right? That is very, very important.
Yes.
It can't just be, oh, look at me, I'm here, I'm posting me. I love when it's like you're trying to make a difference, not just for your life, but for the lives of
others.
other women,
Yes.
especially. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Before we end things, my
Yes.
final segment, huli na talaga,
Okay.
it's the mirror segment. So you have that little mirror next to you, and there's the little pearly shell also. So you
Ooh.
pick a paper. It either says past, present, or future.
Okay.
And I want you to pick up the mirror, this angle, and then say a message to that version of yourself.
Nakakaiyak
past-
naman, girl.
Yes. Yun talaga mga gusto ko dito, mga iyakan portion.
Maalala.
Yes, dear. So let's see what you get. Mind you, I haven't even done it once. I'm so unfair.
You
in
should.
here. No, I'm like, nope.
Okay, next episode we'll interview her. Okay,
I love
or
it.
ask her questions.
I look forward to your future podcast. I feel like it's on the way. I don't know why.
Ooh,
You should have it. You have a very calm voice.
we'll talk about it some other day.
I love it.
Okay. Ooh, present.
Present.
That's
Great.
That's very much needed too.
I love it.
For the future me, I feel like you should just go for it. You have a lot to offer, so don't be scared. And also, right now you're doing amazing. You're doing a great job. So don't stress yourself. Just go with the flow.
Thank you so much, Jamila.
Thank
for
you.
joining the sleepover. And maybe next time we're gonna go into the rebrand Jamila 2.0 and discuss that.
Hopefully we'll see.
Thank you so
so
much.
much for having me. Thank you.
Welcome.